So, Sir Kier Starmer returns to the UK after walking around like he's some sort of war hero, some sort of Nobel Peace Prize contender in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, in terms of the Gaza Peace Deal. And last night we saw President Trump humiliate him. And if you haven't seen the clips yet, please make sure you do. I'll have that available at the end of this video. But the absolute essence of it is that this man has been nothing but fraudulent, cowardice, and now being exposed for his lack of role, his lack of play in this peace deal. Something that a powerhouse like the United Kingdom should be forefront with the USA. Simply were backbenchers watching on while others did the work. It's been embarrassing for Kier Starmer. It really has. And there's so much more going on with him, with the Chinese espionage stories, the grooming gang inquiries, and now this, the lack of absolute willpower and lack of absolute corroboration with the US. It's disgusting. So we're going to present the story, but today he's now been slammed in Parliament by the opposition leader for what she has quite rightly called out the facts. She has quite rightly called out the incompetencies and the irony of some of the absolute celebrations this Labour government are trying to have today. I'm going to show you that full clip here. Make sure you lock in. Welcome along to True Brit Media, a channel in which we want to say the things that some people are too scared to say. We want to speak the truth. We want to give you the real news, and we want to make sure that we are united as one against things that are not right, that don't sit well with us. So make sure you lock in, make sure you subscribe, get in the comment section, and drop this video a like for me. So let's get into it. Let me show you the clip now of the opposition leader of the Tories calling out Sir Kier Starmer. It's golden, it's brilliant. Make sure you enjoy this one, because I certainly did. So here it is. And first and foremost, I want to say as well, this is something that really the Prime Minister cannot hide from. So Kier Starmer cannot hide from this, and it's absolutely poetic. Here we go.
Of the US-backed peace plan represents a significant breakthrough. I want to thank the US administration, President Trump, and regional mediators for having secured this outcome. They put in the hard yards and found solutions, making clear that all progress would depend on the release of the hostages, a condition that some other governments forgot.
Unbelievable. First call out right there. UK, Sir Kier Starmer, you didn't put in the hard graphs, and you certainly didn't have the hostages, the release of the hostages at the forefront. A government which has forgot that. That is sickening in itself, really. And that's the first major call out. And look, you can see here already, he knows he's about to be cooked. He knows he's about to get roasted for the eyes of all to see. And he's thinking probably, can things get any worse? Well, yes, it can. Let's roll the tapes.
Mr. Speaker, with this peace deal, there is much to be hopeful for in the Middle East. If the Abraham Accords are expanded, a new age of peace will have arrived. We will see diplomatic normalization of Israel with the Arab world, something many of us have longed to see. And it saddens me that the Prime Minister's statement does not appear to show that the UK was at the heart of any of these efforts specifically.
And that is exactly what we called out on yesterday's video, that actually not only has President Trump alluded to that, the Italian Prime Minister has alluded to that, and now it's being called out by, again, the opposition government, that really, you've not been at the forefront of anything. Your statements are incorrect, they're half-hearted, and everyone can see through the lies of this Labour government and Sir Kier Starmer, and that is the key thing. Everyone can see through the lies. And if you're going to continue to show this cowardice approach, if you're going to continue to be someone on the back of every major story, of every major sort of political decision, then you're always going to be on the back end. The UK are done with it. We are sick of this. We are sick of the cowardice approach from our government, and this is certainly one. So continue to call them out. Here we go. This is the next bit's even better.
It is quite clear that UK relations with Israel have been strained by the actions of this government. Their view, and they have stated publicly, is that it looks like under pressure from his own backbenchers, the Prime Minister has taken the wrong decisions, time and time again, diminishing our influence in the region.
Basically, your backbenchers got in your head, got in your ear, you're under pressure, and you made the wrong call. Well done, Sir Kier Starmer. That is, again, sign of someone who is not ready to lead. And you can see he knows. That face just tells you everything. The body language tells you everything.
Shout shame as much as they want to, Mr. Speaker. Within weeks of Labour coming into power, they decided to restore funding to UNRWA. We haven't forgotten. An organisation, they say yes, that's an organisation whose members assisted in the kidnapping of these hostages, the release which we are celebrating today.
Imagine funding an organisation who actually played a part in kidnapping hostages. So the Labour government have funded them. They have kidnapped hostages, and today the Labour government sit there celebrating and cheering the release of hostages. Yet they played whatever part they want to say. They played a heinous part in funding the hostages in the first place. It's absolutely, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's heinous. It's disgusting. The truth has been exposed. And quite frankly, if that doesn't make you open your eyes to how corrupt things can get and how disingenuous things are, then listen to that line in itself. Let's continue.
Relations with Israel have been so damaged that when Israel launched strikes against Iran, a country that has been a direct threat to us for years, the UK was out of the loop.
That's embarrassing, but no surprise, we're out the loop of global affairs and we're always a step behind.
They may not like it, but it is the truth. And then, in a move praised by Hamas, Labour decided to recognize a state of Palestine with no condition to release the hostages still held in the tunnels of Gaza, rewarding terrorism. They may chant it from a sedentary position. I will remind them of what the former British-Israeli hostage, Emily Damari, said. She called it a moral failure. I'm surprised to hear the Prime Minister say in his statement that it was a contribution to this peace deal. We all know that the US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, condemned this recognition, saying it had made ceasefire negotiations harder.
Recently, the UK been called out for actually making the ceasefire harder, not helping, but actually making things worse. It's laughable.
That is what the US said. The truth is, as historic events have unfolded in the Middle East, Britain has been out of step with the US. The US ambassador to Israel even called the government's claim that it played a key role in the ceasefire delusional, something Israeli foreign ministers agreed with. Initial phase.
That is that. Britain called out on the international global stage as delusional for their role in playing a key part in this peace deal. I can't. It's absolutely, he's been embarrassed. He's been mocked in Parliament for his role in the Middle East. I don't know how he can even think about recovering this position. So many people look at this guy as a weak leader and someone who really is not going to be in power for much longer, especially in the next general election. But there's only so much we can take, and the longer that this guy stays in power, the worse the country and situation is going to be in a domestic level and an international level. Kier Starmer, you need to sort your shit out and to sort it out quickly. This is embarrassing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash it a like, subscribe to the channel, and get in the comment section. I'm out of here. Ta-da.